and it suddenly clicks in his head, and he stands up and screams. So you want the bad news or the very bad news today? Okay, let's start with the very bad news. The very bad news is I had a pretty decent red day yesterday. It was not fun. And it was because I broke some rules and I kind of got too comfortable and too complacent. So definitely not fun. So yesterday was a decent red day. You can see the big loss was from APVO. And that's a shame because that was actually a ticker was up, not a lot, but like decent on yesterday. And, I kept on telling everyone I was trading with that yesterday, day of elections, things are going to be choppy. Just take what you can. And I broke some rules near the end of the day. So let's talk about that. So you can see, I made some decent profit from APVO in the morning. So even though I did take some small losses on BABA, PayPal, and I scalped a little bit NIO short, and with the short on APVO in the morning, I didn't hold through the entire day. But in the morning, I was net positive. Something small, about just a little bit over $1,000, nothing big. Because at the end of the day, it was a pretty slow during the day yesterday. And I thought, this might be it. I don't want to, I want to take it easy. I don't want to trade too much on the day of elections. And some rookie mistakes here I made. No excuses though. I left some orders out that I forgot to cancel. So when I came back in the afternoon, I was also distracted. I came back, I saw that, oh wow, I had some leftover orders and I was short, a couple thousand shares around after this average about 840s. And then I came back. I have this rule that if I have accidental orders left out, whether it's to buy or sell, and I find out they accidentally triggered, I have this rule to take it off right away. But yesterday I didn't do that. I broke some very, very nice rules that I really should have followed. So I came back, I saw it, and I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. I can add. I only have like 2,000 shares short. I can add bigger. So I started adding 500 shares here, 500 shares there, and it seems like it was gonna break down. So I was like, you know what? I was only up $1,000 from the day. I'm about to make 3,000 more. Famous last words, right? Let's see what happens. And it squeezes. I was like, oh.
There's some pre-market high levels. It's gonna break down. So I just added. This is nothing. I have a big account. I can do this.
Next thing you know, boom. Got squeezed out for that nice $6,000 loss. Actually, the afternoon trade was more like a $7,000 loss. Ate away my morning profit, and I ended up red on the day. So the only silver lining out of this, even though, I own up to my mistake, I shouldn't have done this. I got first of all, too complacent. Second of all, too greedy, because in the back of my mind, I was thinking that I'm only up $1,000. Like, this is a slow day. I wanted to make more money. I got greedy, especially on an election day where I know that I should have been more patient and just take the meat of the move. And, sizing a little bit too big in an hour that I know that I'm not good at trading. I'm usually not good at trading in afternoons. So I ate the loss. Good thing I did, even though it still sucks, it still sucks, but if I held it to the end of the day, $11, my loss would have been doubled. So that would have been like a 5-figure, actually a little bit more than 5-figure loss. So I'm not gonna stand here and say $6,000 is a small loss, because I can live 2 months on $6,000. I can eat 500 bowls of ramen. I could, obviously I can't afford a Lamborghini with $6,000, but I can probably buy like a wheel with it, right? Well, it's not a small loss. It's still a very manageable loss for me. So, that's the silver lining out of this. It's gonna have a dip on my equity curve, in the P&L curve, but overall I'll be okay. And I'm gonna definitely remember this lesson. So I was thinking about this short squeeze that I lost on APVO. It's kind of like that scene in Breaking Bad. Wait, have you seen it? Spoiler alert. Well, the show's been out for like 8 years, so if you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? Anyways, that scene with Gus Fring near the end of his appearance, where he's sitting in the senior home with his uncle, and his uncle is on a wheelchair. He's just sitting there staring at the uncle, who they both hate each other. And then the uncle just like ding, 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 ding. And it suddenly clicks in his head, and he stands up and screams, "Yeah!" So that's essentially what happened with this APVO. It finally clicked that I'm about to get squeezed big time, and I covered for a big loss. They should really cast me if they do a Breaking Bad reboot, and they should call it Breaking Bank. Anyway, sorry for that lengthy explanation on my loss. The point is, follow your rules, stop out, don't add to it, and if you have accidental orders being filled, just get out, take the small loss, and move on. So obviously, today coming in, I want to be a lot more careful. I have this rule of sizing down the next day if I take a loss the day before. So I followed that today. So, it's a small green day. I didn't make back the losses from yesterday, but that was never the point. The point today is just to trade well and follow my rules. Again, right? I need to get back on track. So the first trade, APVO, just a really small short. Obviously this is a stock I got squeezed on yesterday. I didn't hold it overnight, right? Don't do that. If right now it seems clear in hindsight that, if I had held overnight, I wouldn't have lost any money at all. But you can't do that, right? Am I gonna take a, $10,000, $15,000 unrealized loss at $11 and potentially $12 only to hold it to $9 today? No, you can't do that. It's always better to take the loss. So I'm really glad I covered for that loss. There's no way I'm gonna hold it to today. So small win on this one. This one still, I took the loss early on. I was longing this, added some, thinking that we're gonna continue in the breakout. Didn't work. I cut it right away. Accidentally shorted. So when it's accidental orders, I cover right away. Get out. So I didn't try to pick a bottom. I let it set in. You can see on the chart here, double bottom, and we're forming a higher low. So that's when I got in. Re-long the stock, sold some into this just to recoup some of my losses from the morning. And then once it starts, consolidating around this 37s areas, that's when I went along again. Built a very nice full size, 3720s, and added some more 3740s. Sold some into the breakout. But the idea is that we're gonna break high of the day breakout, right? And that's the same thesis I had this morning, except this time around we've actually dumped first and trapped a lot more shorts. And also volume was really strong. We're trading at all-time highs, so that gave me the conviction to go back in long. Long some more, and you can see I didn't sell on the spike here. I kept on adding, sold some just to lock some in, and then I saw this dip holding around the highs. I added even more, and I was all out at $39. So I didn't catch the top. It went up to almost $40. But I'm actually very proud about this long on NIO. While it's not like a big win that'll, recover my losses from yesterday, I'm still very proud about this trade. I followed my stops in the morning. I re-entered according to my plan, and I kept on adding, and until it reached my price target of $39. And now it's kind of breaking down. Uber and Lyft were two other stocks I was watching, but I was kind of disappointed that they both sold off so hard right off the open. So you can see, I don't want to catch the bottom on this. I was long bias on the stock, but I just didn't like how hard the profit taking was. And the entire market dipped a little bit at the open. So I didn't long this until I see it reclaiming the $40 level. Started in long, and once it started holding, that's what I added to full size. So after this add about 40-20s average, and sold into the $41 push. And once that didn't hold, I got out of the long position. I was a little bit disappointed on Uber and Lyft. It's basically just profit taking, and we sold off hard. I know what you're wondering right now.
Humble trader, why are you wearing that ugly beanie?
First of all, we call this a toque. Right, we call this a toque here in Canada. It's not because I'm cold. It's because my hair is a mess today. So that's the reason I'm just kind of like trying to cover this up. just like how I should have covered on APVO yesterday. Okay, so first Q&A time. Do you track any data that help you with your entries and exit? Have the daily volume, average fade, spike percentage? So I think this answer will be different for each individual. For me, I'm not a big Excel spreadsheet kind of guy. I'm not a guy. So I don't really track all the stats you just talked about. That doesn't help me. What helps me is I'm a very visual person. I save the charts. I study my charts. So that's how I learn and that's how I find my setups and that's how I find my edge. If you're a numbers person, you can see the numbers percentage and that helps you, form a plan or a setup, then sure, by all means, use the Excel spreadsheet. But for me, I just save tons of charts and I go back and, analyze and cross-reference all the charts I played or the ones I saved, and that's how I find my setup. So, everyone learns differently, so you have to figure out if, the data tracking Excel thing works for you or not. For me, it doesn't work. So, I have to learn trading my own way. Next question, are all or most trading platforms available outside of the US, like the Middle East? So most of the mainstream trading platforms, at least trading the US markets, are only available in the US. Interactive brokers, they take international clients. TradeZero do. Centerpoint, some of them, so you have to check with them. They don't accept Canadians anymore. Cobra Trading, they also don't take Canadians, but I don't know if they take Middle Eastern clients. So it's gonna be different for each individual broker. You have to ask them. But all I know is TradeZero, interactive brokers, they accept a lot of international clients. So definitely check them out. Okay, guys. So I think the main takeaway of the video is to always follow your rules. Don't get too complacent. Don't get too greedy, or else you'll be like me. I definitely broke so many rules yesterday, and I deserve that $6,000 loss. A lot of people, and I used to do this, whenever I take a loss, or whether it's big or small, $500 loss or whatever, I used to think that, it's because it's the market. The market is against me. It's rigged. No. I lost because I didn't follow my rules. I didn't follow my stops, and I was, I thought I was better than the market, essentially. You have to understand each loss that we all take as traders, it's in our own control. We could have stopped out for a small loss, but instead I let it on for a little bit too long, and I kept on adding to it. And essentially that loss happened because of me. You have to take responsibility for your own trading. It's not Twitter's fault. It's not someone on YouTube's fault. It's not market maker's fault. No. If I lose today, it's our own fault. So anyways, hopefully you guys can learn something from my mistakes. I'll be fine. This is a loss I can definitely recover. But what matters more is that I learn from my mistakes and don't, continue on this bad habit of, being too complacent. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.